Hi guys, this is Mianna Wick with blog number 7. Thank you guys so much for all of your feedback and your comments. It's so much fun to talk on this blog to you guys. Happy November, by the way, and it's just the first few days into it, and so it's so much fun just to be able to kick it off with hashtag month of thanks with a blog. And I am so excited because to also start the whole month off, I actually got to go over to Colorado Springs and to test in an IndyCar this past weekend, and so it was so much fun just to get to go over and do that. And so hashtag thanks for me. It was so much fun. I didn't get to drive my car because my car's not quite ready yet, but it was still so much fun, and I had such a blessing from my team, and they allowed me to drive some of the other cars that were in the shop, and so that was so much fun. And I actually have a few clips from it for you guys, so you guys will have to sit tight to see all of the clips from my past week. And we had to, because I'm so small, we had to make so much pedal extension so that we can just slip that into another car rather than having to move other people's pedals and stuff. So we had to make that, and so I did some of the side grinding and welding and all of that on it, and my dad helped me out with the other parts of it and stuff. And so I took a video, a little bit of that, and then I took some videos of all the boys and everything working at the shop and getting everything put together and ready for me to drive. And then obviously we had some footage of me actually driving, so I'm actually going to add that in the blog. But before I do that, I had a question or a few questions from Buffy Zitmeyer this last week, and so I'm going to go ahead and answer that before I show you those clips. But these are the questions that she asked. She said, what do you do for physical training for racing? What is your daily or weekly routine? I started P90X probably 2 months ago, and I don't know if you guys know or not, but I used to drive Formula Ford 1600 a little bit, and when I was driving that, a rear wheel actually popped off, and I did some pretty severe damage to my shoulder. I broke part of my collarbone, and I tore my rotator cuff, and also some of my nerves in my neck. And so due to that, I have to be really careful because there was no surgery to fix the nerves, and so I have to be really careful to not inflame that and stuff. And if I do, then I have to back off and let it rest before I can get back into the routine again. But I generally try to do 4 to 5 days of P90X a week just to kind of be careful on my shoulder. And obviously if I hurt it, like I said, I have to back off. But that's what I've been trying. So I've been in it a couple months now, and it is so much fun. Like, it's the only workout that I can have a blast and end up like really sweating, like dripping sweat, and have a lot of muscle gain as well. So it's such a blast, and it's so much fun to be able to do that. And her next question was, and what typically do other IndyCar drivers do? Well, I'm not 100% sure because I don't really ask them. Like, if I meet them, I'm not like, so what do you do for your physical training? But just, to see on social media. And also I have met some of them, and I've heard my crew chief, David Hoffpower, talk about it a little bit. And so I do know, I have a basis of what people do. I know that some of them do like yoga. I know a lot of them go to Pit Fit, and it's like a workout thing, I think, for drivers. I'm not absolutely sure on that, so don't quote me on that, but they just go, and I really want to try this. It's really cool what I've seen them do. But a lot of them have this like neck and head like strap that goes over them, and then you hook weights to it, and then you like pull it, and so it like strengthens your neck muscle, which I'm like, that's so legit. I want to try that. So that's really cool, and that's what I've seen a lot of them do. But for driving a car, it takes a lot of physical strength, and so you need to really get a lot of like strength, and so that can come from like lifting and stuff like that. So I'm sure a lot of them do that, but it's also an endurance thing as well. So you also need to balance it with some cardio. So it's just an all-around sport, and so that's kind of my take on what most other drivers do. I've also seen some of them do some bike riding and stuff like that. I'm sure, just like any other sport or anything, just anything to stay physically active and to gain muscle is good to do. The next question is, how do you prepare mentally? And this is her last question, and I love this question because you do have to be so mentally on top of it in racing. Like, to race, the mental aspect is one of the most important things in my mind. And so I have Lumosity on my phone, and so I try to do those workouts constantly, and I try to do like puzzles to just keep in shape with that. But driving is probably the best thing that I can possibly do for my brain. Like, just to be out there and constantly just try to drive as much as I possibly can is so great, because it just is in your mind and you just have to be thinking about everything at once. And so that's kind of what I do, and just to kind of keep on top of it as well, like I do physically training. So I will go ahead and attach some of those videos for you guys to see on this blog. And thank you once again for all of your questions and your comments and your likes. It's been such a blessing. And don't forget that this is the month of thanks. So go ahead and hashtag that, and go ahead and send out your thanks and tell me what you're thankful for this month.
Through there in fifth?
Fifth doesn't show up. It goes from fourth to
sixth to eighth.
Yeah.
So run through there in fifth gear at 5,000-6,000 RPM, get a feel for it.
In sixth gear?
Fifth.
There's no fifth gear.